Perfect.
All right, Steve.
Everybody knows Steve Hoyt and Shane McGraw from the McGraw team.
Okay, so what we got going on here, last year I started doing some videos, and I labeled them Talking Dirty with Steve Hoyt, because, you know, Hoyt's side of we're in the dirt, whatever.
In the dirt business.
We did one with Kris, you might remember. Kris, John L. Scott, real estate, super cool dude.
Nice.
I mean, known him forever, basically family, unfortunately.
Nice.
Turns out Shane thought he was going to get one over on us, because he's like,
Getting us together.
hey, Hoyt, let's get together. And then he has his secretary call me, which we haven't even talked about yet. That's like weird.
Way too big business.
Way too big for Belfair boys. So then Kris calls me. He's like, hey, we doing lunch? And I was like, really confused. So why don't you fill us in, Shane McGraw, and tell us who you are and how you tried to punk us.
And get us together, meet each other so we can do business.
But really, we've been doing business.
So who's watching this?
The world.
The world. This is gonna go.
This is
my
his
mom
podcast.
gonna see this?
If she looks it up, if she looks up
My
Talking
mom does
Dirty.
live in Belfast.
Does she? There you go.
Really, the microphone sucks on this, so they probably can't hear me anyways.
That's right.
true.
We'll ad-lib, so.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I am not okay being the meat in this sandwich. I feel super violated right now.
As you should.
As you should.
As you should. So tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. Because the millions of people out there are wondering.
They're so curious.
They've been
right now.
banging on his door and blowing up my phone saying, do one with Shane McGraw. Do Shane McGraw.
That's right.
You know, you're not the first person to say they want to do Shane McGraw. I don't know what to say, but I would say this. I like good people. So whenever I have an opportunity to connect good people, I do that, and I let good things come out of it. So I just thought I was pulling a fast one on you guys, but you guys know each other better than I know you guys.
So what do you do?
I'm a mortgage man. I help people buy houses.
And very specifically, veterans.
Yep, I help veterans. I'm a veteran myself, so I wrote a book for them, and I do a lot of VA loans. I think I'm kind of a big deal.
He does.
He did write a book. Even I bought one. You read it?
Did you? Was it good?
It was good, yeah.
It meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me.
You didn't even tell me you wrote a book.
Well, it's because I know you can't read.
So what's
They don't
hey,
have it in
listen, that's not true. Did I ever tell you that story? I used to think I couldn't read.
One of the first self-help books he gave me.
Here you go.
He's like, I don't know what's in it because I can't read it, but
Richest
I
Man
heard
in
it's good.
Babylon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Richest Man in Babylon. I honestly, I don't know if I ever said it. I really did believe I couldn't read. Up until it was 2007. It was like 2011. I thought I was completely
After
dyslexic.
the I do statement, that's when he went, maybe I should learn how to read.
That's true.
See what I
He signed
just
his
found.
contract. He didn't even know he was getting 7.
True. So basically, I figured out that at some point in my life, somebody told me I was dyslexic, and I decided I was dyslexic, and I just gave up reading. And then I listened to on tape, book on tape, Psycho-Cybernetics. You guys ever done that? Mm-hmm. And I realized that was all a bunch of horse shit, and I'm actually not. I'm perfectly capable of reading. So maybe I'll read your book. Does it have pictures?
Colors, shapes, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, charts, graphs. It's real simple.
So what's the deal
I
with
think
this
you could be
secretary?
like a 5th grader and read it, right? It's super simple.
Oh, yeah.
So what's it called?
Becoming heroic. It's so I wrote it for military people who are the heroes of our country, but then in their own life they have the highest suicide rate. They're 22 a day, which sucks. They have the highest divorce rate in the whole country per their class, and they have the highest indebtedness rate. So in other words, when they come home from serving our country, they don't have a very good home life. So I wrote a book and said, hey, what if you were the hero of your own story, just like you're the hero of our country, and what if you saved your marriage, and what if you fathered your children in a way where you're still present? Because divorces mean kids have to be raised by different parents. That's not the goal.
And where do we get it?
Amazon runs the world.
$19 or something like that.
If all sales just go into Amazon.
Yeah, 3 days.
Okay, so now I gotta know, what is the story with this secretary that's blowing me up? So she calls me last Thursday,
And then confirmed to make sure you got the confirmation.
3 times.
Well, I called back. She goes, hey, no one ever calls back. I said, well, I'm just tired of you calling.
I called back and I got like push 1 for English, push 2 for this, push 3. I never did get to talk to her because I got tired. I got bored of her, hung up. So what's the story with this nice gal? Is she like? She seems like the nicest lady ever.
So remember when I told you I'm kind of a big deal, right?
She thinks so too.
I keep a busy schedule, And in order to make sure that I actually go to Port Orchard where people show up, I have this gal who makes sure that that works. And
She's your rod.
she's my person. She's my person. Like she's my person. She stayed home sick today or snow day or something. But yeah, so she makes sure that people show up because they're busy.
She didn't work today?
Nope.
Well, she still called me.
I know. That's dedication.
That is good.
Yeah. I feel like you guys are picking on me, but you guys kind of have envy that you don't have an amazing person to help you.
Oh, yeah, we do.
When's the last time someone...
We were just talking about that. That's called our wives.
What?
Yeah.
She's my work wife.
There you go.
I'm the same.
I'm not allowed to have one of those.
Mine was 50. She just retired.
Yeah, you have to run her by and she has to not pass some tests.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so Mr. McGraw, because you know, both these guys actually have gone through some serious, I would say, serious hard times in business.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
I was smart enough or dumb enough to start during the recession because these guys are older. I didn't know. Everybody's like, hey, how did you start a business in 08? And I just stupidity. Like I just worked. I didn't know. I didn't know anything about it. So if either one of you guys could give a young, starting out guy like where I was in 08, you guys were working on fixing things then, right? I would imagine. What would be, if each one of you picked a piece of advice for the market we're in now, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy for me. Understand money, right? Learn what money is, learn how money can work for itself and build, and don't extend yourself just because you have $100 does not mean you need to spend $100. And if you can design a budget with whatever income you have, that budget says what you're going to spend, not record what you already spent. There's a big difference, and I think that's if people in general can learn something in our culture, it's how to say what you're going to spend because it's what you actually have, rather than going back and balancing your checkbook because you already spent it. Right? I think that's. I can give anybody the most, whether that's buying a house, a car, or whether that's just paying good grocery bills and stuff like that. You know how much you're going to spend before you go to the grocery store, not just what you have to pick up. And the balance just happens to be what it is. You can never live on that.
I can dig it.
I might have to get some education in that. I just basically say this is how much I'm going to spend, and then I buy whatever I want until it gets to that number.
Freak out and run.
But I have a system. I save first and I give. Well, I give first and save second, and then, I seem to have money left over when I do that because I think abundance.
So what's the
follows.
advice?
So my advice, two things: attitude and effort. I think those are the only two things in your life you really have control of. And so if you look at your attitude associated to everything you do in your life, if it's your fitness, do you have an attitude of being fit? Do you have an attitude of, eating healthy? If it's marriage, how do you keep your marriage together? You have to have an attitude of being one. You have to have, surrender, humility, all that stuff that's required. Well, it's an attitude. So I think attitude is one thing you can control for sure. And then effort. If you want to go through whatever economy process you go through, you can control your attitude and your effort, but you can't control anything else. And success is not about what the result is, it's about your best effort.
I like it.
Solid.
Solid. I think to finalize that whole thing up, so we don't give people more than about 8 minutes on this sucker. But surround yourself with good people. You are going to be who you're around, and if you follow somebody who's broke or unsuccessful, you are going to be just
somebody who's an asshole.
You're going to be just like that. So if you surround yourself with good people that are working hard, doing the right thing, the right time, you're going to take those traits as well. So cool. All right. Thanks.